On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Extreme.
Very great in amount or degree.
Examples:
Extreme sports. Extreme weather events. Solar gravity creates extreme pressures and temperatures.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Brutality.
The quality or state of being cruel or savage.
Examples:
Military brutality. Brutality against civilians. The protesters were outraged by the police brutality they witnessed at the demonstration.
Bully.
A person who uses strength or power to harm or intimidate those who are weaker. Verb, to intimidate, harass, or mistreat someone weaker or less powerful.
Examples:
Bully bystander. Bully the weak. The schoolyard bully terrorized the other children and made their lives miserable.
Playground.
An area where many people go for recreation, especially at a school or in a park.
Examples:
A well-equipped playground. A playground on the roof. There is a woods with a creek near the school playground.
Domestic.
Relating to or inside a particular country, not foreign or international.
Examples:
Domestic airline. A domestic animal. GDP stands for gross domestic product.
Shrapnel.
Fragments of a bomb, shell, or other explosive object that are scattered in many directions upon detonation and can cause injury or damage.
Examples:
Shrapnel wounds. Shrapnel damage. The soldier suffered injuries from shrapnel during the explosion.
Thug.
A violent or criminal individual, especially one who is part of a group or gang.
Examples:
Local thug. Notorious thug. The police arrested the thug who robbed the convenience store.
Glue.
A sticky substance used for joining things together, a bonding agent made from animal or synthetic materials.
Examples:
Glue stick. Epoxy glue. The carpenter applied glue to the cabinet joints before nailing them together.
Grain.
Wheat or any other small hard seeds used as a food, a relatively small granular particle of a substance.
Examples:
A grain of sand. Flour made from grain. Ordinary air purifiers cannot adequately remove pollen grains.
Par.
A state of being equal to someone or something.
Examples:
Above par performance. Not up to par. Shares in the company finally fell below their par value.
Roll.
To move in a particular direction by turning over and over or from side to side.
Examples:
Roll a ball. Roll down his cheeks. He was exhausted and rolled into bed as soon as he got home.
Mow.
To cut down and trim grass or other vegetation, usually with a machine such as a lawnmower, to cut down or harvest crops.
Examples:
Mow the field. Mow a yard. My father likes to mow the lawn early on Saturday mornings.
Upstairs.
On or to an upper or highest floor of a building.
Examples:
Live upstairs. Go upstairs to rest. I heard a noise upstairs.
Unpack.
To open and remove stored items from a container or package. To analyze or examine something in detail, often to clarify or understand it better.
Examples:
Unpack a crate. Unpack a concept. I need to unpack my suitcase and put my clothes away.
Oppress.
To treat people in a cruel and authoritarian way, especially by denying them the same freedoms, rights, etc. as other people.
Examples:
Oppress the minority. Oppress the people with force. Historically, many countries have often oppressed certain religions to gain the support of the majority of the population.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Intimidate.
To make someone fearful or uneasy so that they will do something that you want them to do.
Examples:
Intimidate an opponent. Effectively intimidate a thief. The boss tried to intimidate his subordinate with threats.
Terrorize.
To make someone feel extremely frightened by violence or threats.
Examples:
Terrorize the prisoners. Terrorize boys into shutting up. The criminal gang terrorized innocent people.
Emotional.
Relating to people's feelings.
Examples:
Emotional health. Emotional distress. Human emotional responses vary widely depending on the society to which they belong.
Undermine.
To make someone or something less powerful, less effective, weaker gradually, to make someone's fame, competence, or authority less effective or weaker gradually.
Examples:
Undermine a good relationship. Undermine their adversary's reputation. They tried to undermine her position by slandering her.
Rarely.
Not happening often, infrequently, seldom.
Examples:
Rarely seen. Rarely used. I rarely eat fast food because I prefer healthy options.
Jail.
A facility where criminals are kept to be punished for their crimes, a prison.
Examples:
County jail. Be in jail. The police escorted the prisoner to the jail.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Hone.
To sharpen or perfect something, to improve a skill or ability through practice.
Examples:
Hone abilities. Hone intuition. The athlete worked with a coach to hone her techniques and improve her performance.
Incredible.
Unbelievable, extremely large.
Examples:
Incredible amount. At incredible speed. Her response revealed incredible idiocy.
Vicious.
Having or showing a desire to cause harm to others, having the nature of vice.
Examples:
Vicious attack. Vicious deflationary spiral. The vicious dog barked and growled at anyone who came near its territory.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Democracy.
A form of government in which the people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation, or to choose governing officials to do so.
Examples:
Democracy advocate. Principles of democracy. Democracy often entails inclusive capitalism as well.
Devotion.
Great loyalty and love or deep consideration for someone or something.
Examples:
Devotion for Buddhism. Selfless devotion. Their devotion to each other was beautiful.
Attitude.
The way you think and feel about someone or something.
Examples:
Attitude toward mistakes. Attitude control. She had the attitude that work was fun.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Tick.
A light, sharp, repetitive sound or action, a mark indicating that something is correct or has been done. Any of two families of small parasitic arachnids with barbed proboscis.
Examples:
Tick of the clock. Tick fever. I always put a tick mark next to the items on my grocery list after buying them.
Collapse.
To fall down or give way suddenly, often after breaking apart.
Examples:
The stock market collapsed. Ready to collapse. The roof finally collapsed after 3 days and 3 nights of heavy snowfall.
Formidable.
Causing fear, apprehension, or awe, difficult to deal with or overcome, capable of inspiring respect or admiration.
Examples:
Formidable challenge. Formidable competitor. The mountain range was a formidable obstacle for the hikers.
Meditation.
The act of focusing one's mind on a particular object or thought, activity to train attention and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state.
Examples:
Meditation training. Religious meditation. The meditation instructor guided the group through the relaxation and breathing exercises.
Inspection.
The act of examining, assessing, or reviewing something to ensure its accuracy, quality, safety, or compliance. The process of investigating or evaluating something.
Examples:
Inspection report. Regular inspection. Before starting the project, the engineer performed an inspection of the construction site.
Heroine.
A woman admired or idealized for her courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. A woman who is the protagonist of a literary work or film.
Examples:
Medieval heroine. Tragic heroine. The brave heroine rescued the prince from the dragon's lair.
Stud.
A small object with a head on one end and a sharp point on the other, used for fastening clothing, leather, or other materials. An animal used for breeding, typically a male horse or bull that is of superior breeding stock. Verb: to decorate or adorn with studs, to provide with studs for support.
Examples:
Horse stud. Wall stud. He bought a new stud to attach the strap to his watch.
Protest.
A strong expression of disagreement, disapproval or opposition.
Examples:
Hold a protest. A silent protest. He left the party in protest at its radical political stance.
Row.
An arrangement of objects or people side by side in a line. Verb, to propel a boat through the water using oars.
Examples:
Criminal on death row. A row of cherry trees. He was the leader of the demonstrators and spoke out against the war in the front row.
Straight.
Extending or moving in one direction without bending or curving, having no deviations.
Examples:
A straight line. Straight for 2 months. He was sick for 5 straight days.
Trigger.
To make something happen suddenly, to cause something such as a device, machine, etc., to function.
Examples:
Trigger a biochemical response. Trigger inflation. The incident triggered a political controversy.
Scared.
Afraid or frightened.
Examples:
Scared all the time. Scared dog. I'm scared of insects.
Calm.
Not excited, angry, or nervous, free from wind, large waves.
Examples:
Calm sea. Calm manner. It was the first time in a long time that I felt truly calm and at peace.
Clarity.
The quality of being coherent and understandable, the quality of transparency or purity.
Examples:
Lack of clarity. Sake of clarity. The publisher will proofread most of this manuscript for clarity.
Mastery.
Complete control or power of something to dominate or defeat, great skill or knowledge in a particular subject or activity.
Examples:
Mastery of mathematics. Strive for mastery. The country finally gained mastery over the whole land of its neighbors.
Mantra.
A word or phrase, often repeated, that is used as a focus for the mind during meditation.
Examples:
Campaign mantra. Chant the mantra of structural reform. She repeated her personal mantra to herself to stay motivated.
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
Probable outcome. Probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Syndrome.
A group of signs and symptoms that occur together and are characteristic of a particular condition or disorder.
Examples:
Syndrome of dementia. Acute syndrome. The patient was diagnosed with a rare genetic syndrome.
Toss.
To throw something carelessly with a light motion.
Examples:
Toss a coin. Toss the bottle into a trash can. It would be best if you tossed out all those old magazines.
Monster.
An imaginary creature that is large and has various human and animal parts, someone or something large and powerful.
Examples:
Horde of monsters. Monster film. This car has a monster engine.
Episode.
A happening or story that is distinctive in a series of related events, an abrupt short period during which someone suffers from the effects of a physical or mental illness.
Examples:
End of the first episode. Episode of vertigo. I want to put that episode of my life behind me.
Paralyze.
To cause a person or part of the body to become unable to move or feel.
Examples:
Paralyze a city. Paralyze a person. The venom from the snake bite paralyzed his arm.
Injustice.
A violation of the rights of others or the laws of a society.
Examples:
Gross injustice. Injustice system. The injustice of the court's decision angered many people and led to protests.
Gasoline.
A volatile flammable liquid obtained from petroleum, used mainly as a fuel in car engines, etc.
Examples:
Lead-free gasoline. Small gasoline engine. Luxury cars often require high-octane gasoline as fuel.
Spray.
A fine mist of liquid that is dispersed into the air. Flower arrangement consisting of a single branch or shoot bearing flowers and foliage.
Examples:
A spray of mist. An insect spray. The artist used a spray paint can to create a graffiti mural on the wall.
Inferno.
A place or condition of intense suffering, especially hell, in traditional Christian beliefs.
Examples:
A raging inferno. Devastating inferno. The building was consumed by an inferno, reducing it to ashes.
Engine.
A machine that converts thermal energy to mechanical work, something that has an important role used to achieve a purpose.
Examples:
A steam engine. An air-cooled engine. The policies he announces can be the engine of economic growth in the country.
Dreadful.
Very bad, unpleasant, or causing fear.
Examples:
Dreadful accident. Dreadful news. The conditions of the prison were dreadful and inhumane.
Nuclear.
Of or relating to or constituting the nucleus of an atom, deriving destructive energy from the release of atomic energy.
Examples:
Nuclear fusion. Use of nuclear power. Many countries have now agreed to a treaty banning the use of nuclear weapons.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy. Foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Outrage.
An intense feeling of anger or indignation in response to something that is perceived as unfair, unjust, or offensive, a public display of anger or protest against such injustices.
Examples:
Public outrage. Outrage over injustice. There was widespread outrage over the government's handling of the situation.
Exposition.
A comprehensive description and explanation of an idea or theory, a collection of things, such as goods or works of art, etc., for public display.
Examples:
An international exposition. Rational exposition. The exposition in the novel provides background information on the characters and setting.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples:
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner.
Blame.
To think or say that someone or something did something wrong or is responsible for something bad.
Examples:
Blame circumstances for the failure. Blame the lack of knowledge. We blamed our impeded progress on lack of money.
Ineffective.
Not producing any significant or intended effect or result.
Examples:
An ineffective speech. Pull an ineffective player. These treatments were ineffective against a virus.
Dialogue.
A conversation in a book, play, or film.
Examples:
Platonic dialogues. The form of a dialogue. He recorded the dialogue at the time of the incident.
Hopeless.
Having no hope, despairing, having no chance of success.
Examples:
Hopeless situation. Hopeless at everything. After months of job searching, he felt hopeless and unsure of his future.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed. The way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Crux.
The most important or fundamental part of a matter or situation. The key point or central issue.
Examples:
Main crux. The crux of the argument. The crux of the matter was that the company was not financially stable.
Perceive.
To become aware or conscious of something through the senses.
Examples:
Perceive a threat. Perceive light. Australia is widely perceived as having low levels of corruption.
Top down.
Controlled or implemented from the highest level of authority or management.
Examples:
Top-down management. Top-down approach. The top-down management approach could have been more effective in implementing organizational changes.
Shift.
A slight transition in position, direction, or trend.
Examples:
Doppler shift. Major paradigm shift. Could you help me shift some furniture?
Grassroots.
Of or relating to the ordinary people in a society or an organization as constituting a fundamental political and economic group.
Examples:
A grassroots movement for nuclear disarmament. The grassroots factor in making the decision. The feeling among the company's grassroots is that the CEO is not radical enough.
Mushroom.
A type of fungus that grows on dead or decaying organic matter and typically has a stalk and an umbrella-shaped cap.
Examples:
Mushroom spores. Mushroom cultivation. The mushroom risotto was delicious, but I couldn't identify all the mushrooms in it.
Concrete.
Existing in a physical or material form rather than an abstract one, based on facts rather than ideas or guesses, made of or covered with cement.
Examples:
A concrete noun. Concrete examples. The president asked for a more concrete plan.
Spot.
A particular location or place, a small round or roundish area, differing in color or feels from the surface around it.
Examples:
Beauty spot. A spot on his honor. This remote spot is rarely visited.
Conflict.
A strong disagreement, argument, or a violent clash between two opposing groups or individuals.
Examples:
The conflict between good and evil. The long-standing conflict. He and I often had conflicts, not only in personality, but also in ideology.
Demobilize.
To discharge or release soldiers, military personnel, or other personnel from active service or duty. To disband or break up a military unit or force. To withdraw or deactivate a military force or resource.
Examples:
Demobilize combatants. Demobilize soldiers. The board decided to demobilize some of the departments to streamline operations.
Militia.
A military force comprised of trained soldiers who are usually a citizen or have other jobs.
Examples:
Militia groups. Armed militia. Militia suddenly occupied the presidential palace.
Rebuild.
To build again or anew.
Examples:
Rebuild a company. Rebuild communities. They are planning to rebuild the house after the fire.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Settle.
To reach an agreement of disagreement.
Examples:
Settle a dispute. Settle down in the town. I don't want to settle for second best.
Refugee.
A displaced person who has crossed national borders and who cannot or is unwilling to return home due to political, religious, or economic reasons or because of a war.
Examples:
Global refugee crisis. The refugee camp. The community warmly welcomed the refugees.
Liberate.
To set free, to release or rescue from captivity or oppression.
Examples:
Liberate people from oppression. Liberate potential. The prisoners were liberated after the war ended.
Situ.
Short for situated, meaning located or placed in a particular position or circumstance.
Examples:
Ex situ conservation. In situ control. Melanoma in situ is considered the earliest stage of melanoma and has a high cure rate with appropriate treatment.
Operate.
To work in a particular way, to supervise something.
Examples:
Operate 24 hours a day. Manually operate a machine. This machine is too difficult to operate for me.
Humane.
Having or showing compassion, kindness, and sympathy toward others, especially toward those who are suffering.
Examples:
Humane treatment. Humane society. We must ensure that all medical testing on animals is conducted in a humane way.
Military.
Relating to or characteristic of members of the armed forces, of or relating to war or warfare.
Examples:
a military operation, a military leader. The military academy was known for its strict discipline and training.
Terrorism.
The use of violence to attain political or religious goals, or to compel a government to act.
Examples:
terrorism against civilians, anti-terrorism bill. Democracy is utterly opposed to any form of terrorism.
Insurgent.
Rising against established authority or government, characterized by rebellion, dissent, or insurgency.
Examples:
insurgent attack, insurgent group. The government forces fought brutally against the insurgent rebels in the remote region.
Civilian.
A person who is not a member of the military or armed forces, a person who is not a law enforcement officer or public official in a position of authority or responsibility.
Examples:
civilian casualties, civilian life. The army is instructed not to target any civilians during the conflict.
Collateral.
Something of value pledged as security against a loan or debt, something that is related or complementary to something else, often as a secondary consequence.
Examples:
collateral damage, collateral agreement. The loan was secured with collateral, requiring the borrower to put up their house as a guarantee.
Damage.
To harm or cause injury to something or someone, often resulting in decreased value or functionality, to impair or negatively affect something, such as a reputation or relationship. Noun, harm or injury that is caused to a person, thing, or entity.
Examples:
damage a relationship, damage assessment. During the surgery, the doctor had to be extremely cautious not to damage a blood vessel.
Infuriate.
To make extremely angry, incite to rage, provoke intense anger or exasperation.
Examples:
infuriate customers, infuriate employees. His rude behavior infuriated many people at the party.
Humiliate.
To cause someone to feel ashamed, embarrassed, or degraded, especially in public or through revealing personal information.
Examples:
humiliate him publicly, humiliate the heckler in the audience. The boss humiliated her employee by belittling her in front of her colleagues.
Population.
The total number of people in a country, region, or location.
Examples:
population change, labor population. In just 4 years, the population has doubled.
Recruit.
To persuade someone to work for a company, to find new members for an organization, the armed forces, etc.
Examples:
recruit a good worker, recruit a new hire. The colonial government recruited militia support when civil war broke out.
Disgust.
A strong feeling of dislike or disapproval.
Examples:
public disgust, show disgust at his actions. He was filled with disgust and fear for the threat of war.
Burning.
Intense or scorching heat.
Examples:
burning desire, burning passion. The fire spread rapidly, engulfing everything in its path in a burning inferno.
Troop.
A group of soldiers, especially a large one, a group of people, animals, or things considered as a unit.
Examples:
the members of a military troop, a troop of deer. The troop of soldiers marched through the city in a parade.
Magnificent.
Extremely beautiful and impressive, grand or noble in thought or deed.
Examples:
a magnificent plan, a magnificent mountain. The magnificent scene of the glacier is awe-inspiring.
Cue.
A signal, gesture, or action that provides information or direction for someone else to act or respond, a reminder or prompt for someone to do something.
Examples:
cue card, visual cue. The director gave the actor a cue to begin the scene.
Brilliant.
Extremely clever, skilled, or impressive.
Examples:
brilliant idea, brilliant performance. The more brilliant you are, the more people around you look at you with envy and jealousy.
Lieutenant.
A deputy or subordinate officer, a military officer ranking below a captain, a naval rank or officer.
Examples:
lieutenant general, second lieutenant. After years of hard work, he finally got promoted to lieutenant.
Colonel.
A military rank above a lieutenant colonel and below a general.
Examples:
colonel rank, brevet colonel. The army colonel led the troops into battle.
Suddenly.
Quickly and unexpectedly.
Examples:
suddenly attacked by an enemy, die suddenly. Who answers suddenly knows little.
Scream.
To give a loud, high shout suddenly, especially because of fear, anger, excitement, etc. to utter or declare in a very loud voice.
Examples:
Scream a profanity. Scream at him to be quiet. She kept screaming for an ambulance.
Yell.
To shout in a sudden and loud way.
Examples:
Yell for help. Yell as loud as we can. When I asked my father for more money, he became furious and yelled at me.
Furious.
Extremely angry, full of rage.
Examples:
Furious anger. A furious sea. The coach was furious with the players for their lack of effort during the game.
Surround.
To be all around something or somebody.
Examples:
Surround a town. A stone wall surrounds the palace. On 3 sides, mountains surround the settlement.
Terrify.
To frighten someone very much.
Examples:
Terrify people. The threats terrify him. It would be best not to terrify your associates into doing complex tasks.
Arabic.
The Semitic language of the Arab people, widely spoken throughout the Middle East and North Africa, of or relating to Arab peoples, culture, or language.
Examples:
Arabic cuisine. Arabic language. I'm studying Arabic calligraphy as part of my art class.
Stride.
To walk with long steps in a particular direction, noun, an important and positive progress.
Examples:
Stride across a room. Stride down a slope. She strides confidently across the stage to accept her award.
Throng.
A large crowd of people.
Examples:
Throng of flag waving. Throng of emotions. The throng of people made it hard to move through the crowd.
Kneel.
To rest on someone's knee or knees.
Examples:
Kneel down and worship. Kneel and protest. The players are kneeling during the national anthem.
Backpack.
A bag or pack that is worn on the back, often used for carrying books, equipment, or supplies.
Examples:
Backpackers hostel. Backpacking trip. I packed my backpack with all the necessary camping gear for our trip.
Armor.
A protective covering made of metal or other durable materials, worn to guard against injury or damage.
Examples:
Armor plates. Protective armor. The knights wore heavy armor for protection during battle.
Wobble.
To move or shake unsteadily from side to side or up and down.
Examples:
Wobble a few steps. Wobble chair. The table wobbled a little when I put my drink on it.
Silent.
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
Silent reading. Give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Wisdom.
The quality of being wise, or the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make sensible decisions.
Examples:
A fountain of wisdom. Wisdom literature. The community greatly respected and sought after the older adult's wisdom.
Dictator.
A political leader who has complete power over a country, especially one who has obtained control by force.
Examples:
Military dictator. A dictator with enormous powers. A popular uprising led to the overthrow of the dictator.
Gene.
The fundamental unit of heredity and the sequence of nucleotides in DNA that codes for the creation of RNA or protein.
Examples:
Gene expression. Gene cloning. A defective gene is responsible for the disease.
Methodology.
A set of ways or principles of doing, teaching, or studying something.
Examples:
Methodology for optimizing. Research methodology. We are developing a new methodology for assessing marketing measures.
Resistance.
The act of defending oneself from an aggressor or refusing to accept something.
Examples:
Resistance movement. Resistance to insulin. The bill to increase the consumption tax had passed despite much resistance from the public.
Translate.
To convert or change words into another language.
Examples:
Translate a document into English. Translate the emotion to a movement. Translate the text from Italian into English.
Practical.
Of or connected with actual use or real situation rather than with theory and ideas.
Examples:
Practical English. Gain practical experience. Her concept is highly practical and helpful.
Doable.
Possible to do, capable of existing, taking place, or proving true.
Examples:
Make a doable plan. Doable in daily life. This project is doable despite the tight schedule.
Outline.
To describe the main facts or aspects involved in something.
Examples:
Outline the plan. Outline the findings. This page outlines our response planning for an emergency.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Fuel.
A substance that is typically burned to generate heat or energy.
Examples:
Biomass fuel. Smokeless fuel. The manufacturing sector was most severely impacted by the fuel scarcity.
Coop.
A farm building or enclosure for housing poultry.
Examples:
Fly the coop. Chicken coop. The farmer put a coop over the hens.
Courage.
The ability to face danger, difficulty, uncertainty, or pain without being overcome by fear or despair. The quality of being brave or courageous.
Examples:
Mental courage. Inspire courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe is right.
Commitment.
A promise or firm decision to do something or to behave in a certain way.
Examples:
A commitment to an alliance. Meet his commitments. His business commitments took him to the United States.
Ordinary.
Not different, exceptional, or unexpected in any way, especially in quality, ability, size, or degree.
Examples:
An ordinary school. Ordinary annual revenue. The ordinary session of the Diet opened.
Bloody.
Covered in or smeared with blood, involving or characterized by bloodshed or brutality.
Examples:
Bloody massacre. Bloody diarrhea. The crime scene was bloody and gruesome.
Humanity.
All people living on the earth, the quality or state of being human rather than an animal, a machine, etc.
Examples:
Humanity at large. Mass of humanity. They donated large sums of money for the development of humanity.
Organ.
A part of the body of an animal or plant that has a particular purpose and performs a specific job.
Examples:
Organ bleeding. Damage to internal organs. These infections have the potential to impact practically every organ system.
Overcome.
To succeed in controlling or dealing with something, such as a problem or difficulty, to defeat or overwhelm someone.
Examples:
Overcome opponents. Overcome all difficulties. He tried to overcome a bad reputation and win the election.
Strengthen.
To become stronger or more effective, to make someone or something stronger or more effective.
Examples:
Strengthen the immune system. Strengthen a border patrol. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body.
Resolve.
To find a suitable answer to the problems or difficulty.
Examples:
Resolve a dispute. Resolve the computer error. This company resolves its battery problem completely.
Kind-hearted.
Having a caring and sympathetic nature, characterized by concern for the well-being and happiness of others.
Examples:
Kind-hearted person. Kind-hearted gesture. The volunteer organization is full of kind-hearted people who donate their time to help others.
Organization.
A group of people who work together for a shared purpose.
Examples:
Organization chart. Agricultural organization. She's the president of a large international organization.